It's 3:25 a.m. in Antioch, Tennessee. The Waffle House on Murfreesboro Pike is lit up like a beacon in the dark, yellow sign glowing against the black sky. Inside, the night crowd is winding down. Plates of hash browns, coffee cups half full. Conversations are easy and tired, the kind that follow a long Saturday night. Then, the sound of glass shattering, an explosion of gunfire. Shell casings clatter onto the floor. The sharp smell of gunpowder floods the air. People scream, ducking under booths, diving toward the kitchen. Through the chaos, one man looks up and sees an opportunity. This is the Good Samaritan, true stories of ordinary people stepping in when it matters most. I'm your host, Allie Jones. Today, the story of James Shaw Jr. and the night he charged a man with an AR-15 to save strangers in a Tennessee Waffle House. James Shaw Jr. was 29 years old, a father, a Nashville native. He worked in electrical and HVAC repair, lived a quiet life, and was known among friends for his easy laugh. That Saturday night, he'd been out with friends at a nearby nightclub. When they left, the night wasn't quite over. A quick stop at Waffle House seemed like the right call. Just a little comfort food before heading home. He wasn't the only one with that idea. The small restaurant was dotted with customers. A few sitting alone at the counter, a group of friends in the corner booth, staff moving between tables with plates in hand. Outside in the parking lot, a pickup truck sat idling. Inside it was 29-year-old Travis Reinking, a man with a past already marked by disturbing behavior. Months earlier, he'd been arrested by the U.S. Secret Service near the White House after crossing a barrier, insisting he had a right to meet the president. His Illinois gun license had been revoked, and his firearms, including the AR-15, were confiscated. But they were later returned to his father, who gave them back to him. Police records and family accounts revealed a history of delusional thinking and paranoia. He had previously told authorities he believed he was being stalked by people, including pop star Taylor Swift. He had worked in construction, drifting between jobs, but his behavior had grown more erratic in the months before the attack. That night, he drove to the Waffle House wearing nothing but a green jacket. In his hands, the AR-15. From the parking lot, he opened fire. Torian Sanderlin, 29, a Waffle House employee on a cigarette break, was hit and killed instantly. Joe R. Perez, 20, a customer just arriving, was struck before he could reach the door. He died there in the parking lot. Reinking stepped through the shattered front glass. Inside, bullets tore through the air. DeEbony Groves, 21, a college senior sitting with friends, was killed at her table. Aquila De Silva, 23, an aspiring musician, was shot while trying to escape. He would later die at Vanderbilt University Medical Center. Witnesses later described the sound as firecrackers going off right next to your head. James dropped to the floor, heart pounding, adrenaline flooding his system. At first, his only thought was survival. But then, he noticed something. The shooter was pausing, just for a moment, between bursts of fire. James would later say, "I'm not a hero. I'm just a regular person. But I knew if I was going to die, he was going to have to work for it." From his position near the bathroom entrance, James could see the gunman's hands. And, in one of those pauses, he knew he had maybe 2 seconds. No more. He got up, and he ran straight at the man with the rifle. In the narrow space between booths, they collided. James grabbed the barrel, instantly feeling the searing heat burn his palm. He kept hold, shoving the rifle toward the floor. The gunman fought back, trying to twist free, but James was stronger in that moment. With a final wrench, he ripped the weapon from the man's hands. In one motion, he turned and hurled it over the counter, out of the attacker's reach. The shooter, stunned, turned and bolted, running through the door and disappearing into the night. Inside, the silence was almost as shocking as the gunfire had been. 4 people were dead. Several others were wounded. But many more were alive because of what James did. James himself had been grazed by a bullet on his arm and had a burn on his hand from the rifle barrel. In the chaos after the attack, Travis Reinking fled on foot, leaving behind his green jacket, which contained extra ammunition. He vanished into the night, barefoot and carrying a handgun. For the next 34 hours, Antioch and the surrounding neighborhoods were on high alert. Schools were closed, helicopters searched overhead, and heavily armed officers went door to door. Just after 1 p.m. on April 23rd, a construction crew spotted a man in the woods near Old Hickory Boulevard. He looked dirty, exhausted, and familiar from the photos circulating on the news. Police moved in, surrounding the area. Reinking was taken into custody without incident. At the station, detectives asked him why he had opened fire on strangers in the middle of the night. According to court records, Reinking said very little, but admitted he had gone to the Waffle House with the intent to kill as many people as possible. He offered no clear reason beyond the paranoia and delusional beliefs that had haunted him for years. In February 2022, after a lengthy legal process and psychiatric evaluations, Travis Reinking was convicted on 4 counts of first-degree murder and sentenced to life in prison without parole. James, for his part, stayed focused on the victims and their families. He raised over $200,000 in donations, attended funerals, and quietly supported survivors. Even as the world called him courageous, he resisted the title. "I don't have any special powers," he told one interviewer. "I'm not Superman. I just wanted to protect my friends and the people around me." Sometimes, courage isn't a plan. It's a moment. A single decision in the middle of chaos. James Shaw Jr. didn't know if he'd survive. But in those 2 seconds, he decided to act. And because of that, dozens of people walked out of that Waffle House alive. We also remember those who didn't. Torian Sonderlin, Joe R. Perez, DeEbony Groves, Aquila De Silva. This is The Good Samaritan. I'm Allie Jones. If you like this episode, subscribe, share, and leave a review.